let me know. Tells me.
We'll just do the.
I want to call this October 30th, 2024 meeting to order. Michelle, you'll lead us in pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Young? There you go and split them up.
There you go, there's exonerations, two refunds that were caused by last week's exoneration. Last week.
Well, I move that we approve the exonerations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve the refunds created by the exonerations of the meeting before.
Second.
All in favor?
And there's two on each.
Didn't we have a combined divide segregated? I thought we did. I've already reviewed it. I move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Two on here, Eddie.
Yes, there's two more refunds. Purchase copy and share.
I'm gonna go ahead and move that we approve payroll for 11/1/2024
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
and move that we approve prior meeting minutes for 10/16
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. state settlements.
Move to approve.
One was back.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Vouchers and invoices.
That's all, so
And sign these.
let me look at my notes.
We're rolling today.
I was fine with them all except. There it is. On the fire vouchers. The fire association membership dues. And. Who is this turnout gear for, Josh?
It's for new members of the training that's in like, this year we've added some new trainers down at the training center. Less than a year ago, you all approved for, I think it was 30 sets for the old members. And these are new members that have just came on this year. And I know it's like $250 more than what it was a year ago when we bid it out, but we piggybacked off the Armstrong Creek. Armstrong Creek bid out Bunker Gear for their members of their fire department, so we just piggybacked off their deal for that price. But it's for the new members that we have coming into the training center.
Okay, but we have previously said that we're not gonna approve any purchases for the training center. Further, so that the three things that I have issues with not approving that I'd like to accept are membership dues for the fire association, which I think the fire department should pay themselves out of other funds and not the excess tax. Turnout gear for the fire training center. And I will distinguish that a fire department that needs turnout gear would absolutely qualify for reimbursement from the fire levy for that. And another fire association related expenses is Hutch's Wrecker Service expense for 17.5. And I'd like us to make an exception or not make an exception for that. I think those are the three things that should not be approved here. The only fund that, I called our council this morning. The only fund that we could approve the Hutch's Wrecker Service expense out of is the general fund. And this expense was not approved by the commission in advance. There was absolutely no discussion about it before it appeared on our reimbursement. So I move that we approve all vouchers and invoices except those three.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. John,
Yeah, well, I did. What's the bunker gear, the Hutches, and what was the second one?
the fire association
Oh.
membership dues.
Yeah, the fire association membership fees should come out of the state funds on that.
Or their own state fund, like
Yeah.
if they don't have funds.
Yeah.
So are you wanting to approve them?
I said aye.
Okay, okay.
All right,
I can't, he can't hear me and I can't hear
I
him.
know, yeah,
Megaphone.
I got it. Oh.
I don't have him in. I don't have him in.
See? Well, they don't work if you don't like.
One of them doesn't work and the other one,
Maybe we need one of those
Have
voting
to
machines
have-
where we hit green or red.
And then it lights up.
Yeah,
A great idea. All right. So Region 4 Resolution number 9, is Leslie on there?
Yep.
Leslie,
Good morning.
morning.
So this morning we have resolution number 9 for the Armstrong Public Service District for the Powelton Water Tank Replacement Project. This is the project that the commission is the grantee for a community development block grant. Today there are invoices for E.L. Robinson Engineering totaling $68,947.35. C.J. Hughes Construction Company, $890,394.75. And Region 4 Planning and Development Council for $2,056.70, bringing the total amount of this resolution to $961,398.80.
why is there a burger cart receipt in there?
It may have been for some of our folks that travel. If they're traveling, they can purchase their lunch. Let me take a look at that and I can give you a better answer. Looks like traveling for labor interviews.
I'm sorry, Leslie, could you say that again?
I said it looks like traveling for labor interviews. It was Marilyn Guerrero from our office who did the labor interviews, and it should be noted down at the bottom, labor interviews. The bottom of the receipt should say labor interviews.
Why would that be part of this grant rather than her expenses she would submit through Region 4?
She did submit this through Region 4, and this is the way for us to recoup the money that she spent for the labor interviews when she went to do them. It is permissible under the parameters of the grant.
Okay, because it just seems weird.
Good eye.
There are a lot of small numbers in this thing, let me tell you. Especially on a cell phone. So, are there any implications given the issues that are going on with Armstrong Creek, or is this stuff that's you're just asking permission to go ahead and pay for stuff that's already incurred on previous projects?
So this is the current Powelton water tank replacement project. This project is ongoing and we expect that it'll wrap up within the next 90 to 120 days. This will replace the Powelton tank. They've had a little bit of issue with some slippage because I know you're familiar with the area down there, Commissioner Taylor, and you've literally got the road on one side and two mountains on each, or a mountain on each side. So they had to cut a bench in and there was some concern with some slippage. But other than that, the project is going on as expected, and they do expect physical construction to be done before the end of the year.
John, you have any thoughts?
no, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I think it's definitely needed. The people up on that part of Powelton have not had water a couple days because of massive leaks. Once this tank is put in and when West Virginia American takes over, they'll be able to keep the lines full and people satisfied. And we're just hoping that by Thanksgiving, there's no water leaks there. Because that's what's happened the last 3 years in a row. No water.
Only overwhelming the system. I move that we approve the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sign here and then you'll use.
Next one.
So John had asked that we put the letter to the Boy Scouts regarding the Welcome Center lease on here. But I don't think we have a draft letter because
Well, we could approve, what do you have in mind? We could approve it in concept.
I just want to notify them that, thank them for their willingness to work with us, but at this time, we just don't have the finances to take care of it. And we'd like to give them an opportunity to do something else with that building to release us from any
$1 a
legal
year.
obligations that we may have.
$1 a year.
Yeah.
I can go with that, I guess.
But the amount to put the people in there to work and the amount that the paper products would be costing is just overwhelming for us.
Well, that's one thing me and the other two commissioners, I gotta speak on it, disagree on. The funds are Southern West Virginia and the hotel motel tax. There's more than enough money to sustain it and utilize the building for multiple things. So I mean, that's, if money's managed correctly, there's plenty of money there. So, but that, the other two commissioners, I know
Well, I agree with you both, and here's why. I mean, I do think the funds are there, but I don't think we have followed up and put the stuff in it, and I think with you leaving, I don't think it's something that we're gonna
Oh, I know.
actively,
No.
be involved in, and that's, because if the CVBs aren't running it, and they both opposed it, of course, then we would have to run it, and I have no interest in us running it.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I come down on
And
it.
I understand, it's a big
It's a big
undertaking, it's a big undertaking, I understand.
It
I
is.
understand completely.
So.
But I will say this about that building, once this leaves, I think the mega site will go away.
Well, and that's my one concern is, John, is it a negotiating tool or something?
I mean, it will go away, I guarantee you, right here, it will go away.
Well, that's a possibility, but I don't see us doing anything with that building because of the amount of labor and the cost it's going to be for the paper goods and maintenance and everything else. Will the mega site go away? Well, we're dealing with other individuals that have that property, not just the Boy Scouts.
But, well, they have expressed the desire to sell it, but I guess my hope is, even if the mega site goes away, that the Boy Scouts will consider developing that property itself themselves, rather than just leave it sit there. Because I don't feel like it's, other than, during a jamboree, I don't feel like that property has benefited the Boy Scouts or is used. And in
think it's
between jamborees,
benefited.
they don't use it at all.
It's benefited the truck drivers more than anybody else.
That's a fact. So you want to make a motion?
And I want to make a motion to send the Boy Scouts a letter stating that we're no longer interested in that building.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Brian is here for the 6-month probation, the employee 6-month probation.
Okay, you don't have to mention the employee's name.
His time's up, he's done his job, he's
Mm,
an incredible worker, he's a certified electrician, he does. This is like, we say it a lot, we could come to somebody who do it, this is one of those guys. So, he started at the 14 range there, and I'd like to go up with him, this is what we've talked about, trying to get the wage to keep this guy on, because I know he can get drawn, he's an electrician in another state, blah, 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 he can get other work, other places, he really has a heart in the department.
Did you and Ruth decide on the salary increase you want him to have? What is that? Okay, so at a $2 an hour increase from 14, what, to 16? I move that we approve the raise.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Can we get one more in or not?
It's the GST letter.
Yeah, I mean, we've all read it already.
Well, I motion to approve.
Me too, so.
Well, maybe not.
I need to chime in on that. Who do you want I didn't put a signature at the bottom. Do you want that to come from me on behalf of the commission, or do you want it to be signed by the commission? Because under the contract, we are supposed to negotiate with GST to resolve this issue.
We have been.
Okay,
I mean, well, I mean, I feel like, cause didn't you do another letter for them?
I don't remember honestly.
Can you look, can you guys look, cause I feel like we did do another letter, we certainly had meetings about it, and we had it on an agenda.
So who do you want the signature lines?
You,
Okay, from me and then on.
that's what I think, I mean, what do you
Yes.
think?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
Yeah,
can tell you how much money we paid we were paying quarterly maintenance fees up
Mhm.
through February this year, right?
mhm.
And a maintenance for something that doesn't exist.
Right,
Yeah, and then, like I said, the only two things that I would add to the letters, I would like specific dates for the payments. And I've got a partial list. I just want to verify that I've got all of them. And then also, the date that they made the website available.
I feel like if you guys could look and see if I think he did, either he sent another letter, I know we had a meeting on it. But I think you should, Anthony, reference that. You know, if it's the letter, you could reference the letter. If it's the meeting, meeting and then subsequent meetings between Wadsworth and me.
I think we even had a meeting
And
here,
Ruth.
they were supposed to be here and talk about it too, I believe.
And they were. And he came, Cannon Wadsworth came himself, and then I met with him in Ruth's office. Subsequent to that, remember? I'll look, I'll find it I think I have it, or maybe it was Amy I met. It might have been while you were out, hold on.
I remember you meeting with them, but I don't remember what it was for.
That's what it was.
I mean, it's come up a few times during commission meetings, we've had it on the agenda.
It has, because it's been an issue.
I'm
No,
pretty
I don't
sure
have
we
his
talked
name
about
in
it
here.
In the fall.
Didn't we?
I think in the fall, we at least discussed one. I remember seeing it in the minutes. I don't know if it,
I know it was
But you
discussed.
and I met with, I mean, we met with him.
I don't know if I met, he was here.
I
just
met with
remember.
him, somebody, because I wanted to meet afterwards and, kind of,
Yeah,
here's what we expect, ask what happened.
and it was like late February or March when he gave me the login credentials.
Okay,
But I
so
thought it was a year ago that we talked about
there was
it.
definitely, I can't believe I don't have it in my.
I remember talking, I don't know if,
I bet I can find an email or a text on it. I will.
yeah, I don't
I
know
will
if a
look.
letter was sent,
But
but I
anyway,
remember talking
Give
about it.
me, after the meeting, I'll look and see if I can find any more data.
Amy, could you give me an exact date for when he provided the login credentials?
Yes.
I'm not gonna mention I had this taken care of a long time ago.
Listen, I agree. I mean, it could have been done 4 years ago.
I'm just
Could have been
razzing.
done
I'm
2
just
years
ra-
ago if they had done what they were supposed to do.
I'm just razzing.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the next one, but I mean, we.
Did we vote on that?
No,
I move that we approve the letter.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's go to round 15. Is this one?
Yeah, there's only one. It's the same one. I think we've done all of ours. It's AJ Allegheny Systems.
How do I get it? Look at all this tape.
put you on that
I just-
side.
I need some scissors.
Skillers.
I mean, they lock these things down.
My goodness.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
like,
don't swing it too wide. Might want to move your arm.
No, I'm not gonna go towards her. I'm just trying to get that little slot there. They don't have such a hard time.
I'll pull it out.
See how guilty he was from opening all those bags of burger.
Thank you.
Well,
Oh, you see this? Look at this. Oh, that's folder. Okay, I was gonna say, that's the fanciest bid I've ever seen. Looks like the bottom line is $16,500. Allegheny Systems LLC out of Charleston. And we've got a certificate of liability insurance, copy of the contractor's license, and the business registration certificates. So do we vote to accept the bid, or we have somebody vet it?
I mean,
It's the only one we have, so.
and they've done, which office is this for?
This is for
Tax
tax
office.
office shelving.
Yeah, they've done
Oh, it's
all
just-
of our shelving so far.
Well, it's just
I'm
shelving.
thinking they must be the only ones that do it.
I move that we approve the bid.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ruth, you want to finish?
Well, it's 9:20. We can do the HVAC.
Okay, so we looked at the HVAC. And there's only 2 people that completed everything. It was,
Oh, that's right, this one's me.
yeah. I want to say Appalachian and Pasco. And one's. Yeah, one's 36, Pasto's 36. And then Appalachian is 29,800.
Everything else is in order then?
Yeah.
I move that we award it to Appalachian.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, Ruth, you want to finish now?
I'll speak to this, because I asked that we've been overseeing the library levy similarly to the fire levy, because we don't, control it like we do law enforcement, so we reviewed their expenses and we came up with 2 conclusions. I think Tom had suggested that they start keeping the levy funds in a separate account, and I fully agree with that. Because they're providing their account statements and we want to know what's coming from the levy and what's coming from their other funds. And then we gave them a reminder in the letter about, what types of expenses are authorized from the fire levy, and asked that they use other funds for the other expenses. So I move that we approve the letter.
Second.
All in favor?
No, the main issue with it was like a couple of things I pointed out. Otherwise it was a good letter. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, the only other thing was just nitpicky. I just wanted library levy to be capitalized throughout.
No, okay.
Well, it was inconsistent, like it was library levy, capital L lowercase, lowercase. Just wanted to be consistent, but otherwise it's good to go with those changes.
All right, the last thing is a letter regarding the medical cannabis dispensary.
Where we're just acknowledging that it's going in Fayetteville city limits and that we are aware it is going there, and we have no ordinances that would disallow it.
No, you guys, it was like in 2020 or 2021, you voted to,
Allow it.
In Fayette County.
yeah, according to go with that state code, so.
I wasn't here. Okay, so I move we approve the letter.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
One more.
No, 2 more.
Yeah, because we have a special agenda.
Well, that's a different agenda though. That's a different meeting, I guess.
Technically, you're right.
Yeah. I guess we can go ahead and,
The recovery services for delinquent property taxes, are they here?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi. You guys ready to start
yeah,
that one?
I'm ready. As long as she's here, yeah.
Come on up to the podium if you wouldn't
I
mind.
will.
I think I need some.
Sure.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right, it's not just me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I start turning reminder, hopefully y'all remind me to breathe. This is not my normal thing, and I'm nervous, so
I'll double in there.
it was a
Don't be
beautiful
nervous.
drive in though. It
They're
was
just
gorgeous this
country
morning.
people, so.
Me too. I'm in the foothills of North Carolina, so. Yeah, so,
Which part?
I'm close to or I'm in Yadkinville. You know what that is?
No, but
All right.
my boyfriend lives in Hickory, so
Okay.
we're down there a lot.
Did he get any flooding here?
Just the docks.
Good, good. If we'd been any more west, it'd been.
Same,
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so my name is Amy. I own Government Recovery Services. That's the company. We are looking to help Fayette County recover their delinquent personal property taxes. We've been in West Virginia for a while, helping with this same thing. I'm an SBA certified woman small business owner, and we would love the opportunity to work with Fayette. And we've got a couple things. I know maybe some things were passed out to you, but I got a few. All right, so first and foremost, Fayette is doing a great job in the tax office collecting their tax tickets. They're doing a great job. For as big as the county is, and as many hats as we all know that they wear in that office, they're doing a wonderful job. Where I would like to come in and help them out is just filling the gap. The people that have moved and you can't find them anymore, they don't have time to chase them down. We have 8 hours a day or longer to chase them down and find those people, help them understand that they still need to pay their personal property taxes that are outstanding.
Can I
Sure,
ask a
jump in.
question, really, Jim? I mean, I'm not gonna be here next year, but
Yeah.
one thing that some of these properties are delinquent that the LRA is picking up, we're gonna pick up. We're having a hard time finding. How would that work with the LRA itself?
Our land reuse agency.
Yeah, so they're buying this organization is the commission formed in order to pick up the properties. In fact, it's the first one in the state of West Virginia. They could pick up the delinquent properties, but that still they're having a problem finding the taxpayer because we can even offer a certain amount of money for them just to take it off their hands.
Yeah.
So is that something that, I don't know whether the, we go
So-
through the
so
commission or the
Are you
LRA?
referring to real property?
Real
Land? Okay, so this is just gonna be for the personal.
Oh,
property.
well,
Yeah,
So-
based on what West Virginia law allows us to do.
okay.
Maybe one day we can jump into the
Okay.
property. I wouldn't mind that either. So, but this is just gonna be for personal property.
Okay.
But you still got those kind of same things. You've got where people have bought and sold businesses and they have property that goes with those companies and nobody knows who should be paying for those. And we kind of work with those businesses to get those paid as well. So one thing that our company does that's very unique to any other agency is we really try to take a lot of steps out and make it easy for the chief tax deputy to work with us. We want to make this as seamless as possible for them. We actually have technology that removes a lot of the steps they would have to do to work with any other company. Which I'm kind of a geek when it comes to efficiency and helping out our government agencies. It's just what I do. I want to keep improving, what we do and what we can do for them. So that's our goal. But, we reach out to taxpayers. We talk to them, and the way we approach them is with empathy, grace, and a plan. They say 2 things are certain in life, whether or not, they knew about the taxes, they still gotta pay it. So we just work with the taxpayer. And we're
So do
very
you
passionate
have
about
them
that.
enter into after you talk to them and you come to an agreement, do you have them enter in a contract, and who enforces the contract?
It's not a contract. So what we do is we do our best to abide by the West Virginia state law. So West Virginia does not allow for payment plans once the tax ticket becomes delinquent. So we help this person, you may be talking $600, $700, $800 that they weren't aware of, and we make a plan to get that paid on a certain date. There's not a contract that they enter into with us. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, Ruth, did the tax department bring this to your attention?
Yeah, they met with, and
Is there anybody from the tax department on the?
no, what's her name?
Terry?
No, the other.
Alex?
Candy.
Oh, Candy. Candy, yeah.
Yeah, Candy met with Shannon, Terry, and I want to say Jess about this.
But nobody is here from there to talk to us about their interest in it
No, well, they were interested, that's why they sent it to you.
without being, okay.
So, and just to put your mind at ease a little bit, the contract to enter into with us is a 30-day out clause. And so, if you weren't satisfied with our services, we want you to stay with us because we're bringing value to the tax office and not because you're stuck in some 6-year contract or whatever. So it's a pretty easy out if this is not something you feel like you were interested in.
West Virginia we can only enter into one-year contracts.
Right.
Governments.
Gotcha.
So.
I
All
mean,
right.
you could always volunteer and.
Yeah, I mean, I just would rather than, like, if there's something they want, they should be here pitching it. You know,
I agree with you. I mean,
I don't like that they're not here.
You could discuss it with them later.
I mean,
If they
yeah,
want it, they would put it on the agenda again.
yeah, I think.
When they-
Was
You're
this
ready to
something
show
that
up.
was brought to your attention, like did you receive this ahead of time in the contract?
We did
I
receive
just want to make
information.
sure you got. all
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
we got a good
Okay.
deal of information in advance, but. I like to have the people who want the service
yeah.
present to tell us why it's useful. for
Yeah,
them and
I
that sort of
understand
thing.
that.
But they're not used to having to come to commission because they almost never need to.
Right.
So, I think we just need to.
Yeah, they can put it on the next agenda and let him come.
Oh, look.
There you go. There we go. She must have heard us talking.
Also, the agenda at 9:30.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, that's fair. I'm glad you came because I was just asking.
Yeah, because I watched it and I was like, I muted it in yours. How are you? Good, how are you? I'm home. It is.
So give us your take on this.
So she approached us at the conference and we talked about it there, and then Candy came up and she talked to me and Alex and Shannon. And I mean, I'm all for it if you guys report to you. We do have a lot of delinquent person recovery, so.
What is the cost of the service? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a performance-based cost, so if we don't collect anything, you don't.
Oh,
pay.
it's 25%.
It's 25%, that's right. And so if you don't, if we don't collect it, you don't pay. So that 25% includes everything it takes for us to track down these people and find them. The letter costs associated with them.
So if it's only a $200 piece of property or whatever, it's only about $50.
That's right,
If it takes you 2 years. or 1 year.
that's right,
Okay.
that's right. If we contact them 3 times and they pay, or contact them 500 times and they pay, same price.
Now, getting the addresses, I'm just curious about this. Getting the addresses, contact them.
Yep.
Is that part that the county will have after this is over with or during the process?
You mean if we find a new address
If you
for
find-
the county?
You
Yeah,
said you- Okay.
yeah,
so
that's
the
their
county-
information.
That's the county's information.
Yeah.
That was my big issue
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, they can have what we find.
How is it working in other counties?
We're doing really well. We have, Kanawha, Gilmer and Logan. So Kanawha's
Logan, yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Logan's great.
Yeah.
Sheriff PD down there. And everybody so far is happy with us. Kanawha by far is huge. They're a huge county. We're managing that very well for them. We've got a really great contact rate. It's in the upper 80s, and we've got a really great return or what do you call it? Well, a payment rate in the, I'm gonna be conservative and say about 60 to 65%.
So is this, what about, would you have to collect at that certain, if they owe $200? And is there is something negotiable on paying a lesser amount? For them to pay less than what they owe?
That's a great question, and that we're small enough to where we can be very tailored to what the chief tax deputy of each county wants. So that would be up to Terry if she would want something like this, that, or allow for it, whatever's within the law for us to do. That'd be up to her.
I think it's a win-win.
I want to know if we can legally negotiate that, though. I don't know.
I don't think that we can legally negotiate
Yeah,
taxes.
the LRA can legally negotiate. The LRA can legally negotiate.
For real property.
Well, that's real. Is that real property?
That's person you're talking about.
Okay, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, that's up to them.
Yeah, personal, right?
Personal property. Mhm.
So what are we doing?
The LRA can negotiate.
But can the county commission?
The LRA will deal with the county commission.
It has different authorities. I mean,
I'm almost positive, we'd have to ask Michael Taylor, but I'm almost positive the LRA can negotiate.
Well, and honestly, I like to bring the county as much money as I can, so that's not the first thing we go to, we don't currently do that for any county, they need to pay it. Now with Kanawha, they got a lot going on in their assessor's office, and so sometimes we'll contact somebody and there's an adjustment, but on the assessor side that has to be made. Sometimes it's adjusted down, or sometimes it's exonerated. So those are just written off the books, but I like to bring in as much money for these gals as I can.
Yeah, cause you get 25%.
Well, that too. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, we can talk to Michael, but I'm almost positive it can. And there's a way you can do it, I believe. You'd have to talk to Michael. I mean,
Yeah, we tried to do this before with Judge Ewing before he was moved to a judge. He was going out after delinquent taxes for us. And he was getting X amount of percentage too on each one he collected.
I was thinking we did that, I remember that.
Yeah, so it's a win situation because we've got an opportunity to get money back in that it's just sitting there. Low hanging fruit, so I like to call it. And it's not gonna hurt us any.
I'm less comfortable with reduced taxes
Oh, I am
and
too.
the negative and the incentive it would create.
Well, my idea is a little different than the commission's idea. My idea is to turn over the property for the amount, negotiate a price that they get. And get the property and then resell the property or develop the property. It's a whole lot different. than
You're
that.
talking about real.
You're talking about real property again, though. We're talking about personal.
Personal
like
property
cars.
is,
This
Oh.
is just personal, like your
Yeah.
personal.
You do
property, your
both,
vehicle,
right?
No, just.
Not
No.
yet.
oh
Not
my
yet.
gosh, I thought you said both.
That's why you're
Your
throwing me.
property is taxable through the tax sale. So
Yes,
you get your money back on real property, personal property is not,
Right.
so it just,
correct.
like if they sell a business,
So
And they're in,
the inventory,
they owe tax on that inventory, but I think it's one of those, it's not my name anymore, I don't.
That's
care.
right.
but you know, how much
Because it's
is
your
that? That's not, that can't be, there cannot be a lot of properties out there like that.
Well, it's not just that.
It's inventory.
It's everything.
For, it's individuals' vehicles, it's the contents of your businesses, like, we have a mine and we can't figure out where it's.
So
supposed
you're
to
talking
go
about
to,
mostly
that owes
mines.
over $1 million.
So mostly mines, probably.
Well, I mean, there's just everything, but we do have a mine that owes over $1 million in delinquent taxes, and we can't figure out how to get in contact with anybody.
They don't want you to.
Like,
Well,
Michael's
No, they don't.
Something
They're
of
good
that-
at hiding. They're good
something
at
of that level of consequence, I would like Anthony's office to be involved in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we can send letters about and that sort of thing. I mean,
Have you checked the Secretary of State's office?
$200 for a household that forgot to do their car is different from a mine that is evading $1
That's
million
right.
worth of taxes.
And we actually do that with Kanawha. So Kanawha, like $75,000 and up or something, they have somebody that will take them to court because it's worth it for that. And, so they do that, and then we do the lower stuff, the
As
$200.
long as it don't cost anything, I agree, but I just don't think if these mines don't want you, they're not gonna pay.
I feel-
And it's not just the mines,
If they
it
take
is
the property,
others,
they
it's
take it off the
others.
mountain.
It's people who retired in Florida and they left those last few years of tax tickets and they don't realize that they still owe them because they left and, well, I don't live in West Virginia anymore. You still owe it. It's that kind of stuff
I mean,
too.
it don't cost nothing to do it. I don't have a problem.
I think it's a good idea. I look at page 4 and see that number and it just pops.
It's a good one. and
I'd
that's
like to
conservative.
establish some thresholds, so if we do it, I would like Anthony's office to get involved in cases that exceed a certain amount. What is your recommendation based on what you see?
I would have to go in and look at the numbers again, that's just the biggest one that we have is that one.
Okay, we defer this to the next meeting then, so we can set those amounts.
Yeah, can you get us some numbers by the next meeting too? I'd like to see them. I'm curious. Will it have whether they're mines or it's somebody's car or a value,
14th.
a value on it too?
All right.
Case that you're talking about, just the name of the company. Because one of the problems you run into with the Secretary of State's website, when you search for businesses, is not user friendly. It's not
Oh, I
like
know.
Google, it's not like Google, if you get it close, it's gonna pull it
Google's
up.
almost better sometimes.
If you don't get the name exactly, or if it was entered incorrectly in the Secretary of State's office, you're never gonna find it.
Yeah, and you can, like, I've had to actually call them before and have them search because they understand the data.
It's not, they're not set up to be a search engine.
It's horribly bad.
It's frustrating.
Even if you get it right, sometimes it doesn't come up.
But usually I type in as little as possible. And that seems to be.
And read through every single option.
Yes.
Yep. I've had to
seems
do that
be the
too.
best approach.
I do that too. So what I'd like to request is, would you please get with Anthony before our next meeting and talk to him about what your recommendations are and see if they make sense to you?
Right.
And then you guys let us know on the 14th. What you think. I mean, I'm inclined also. I mean, I agree. I think it would be a good service, kind of like giving somebody a tax break. It's like, we wouldn't get that money otherwise. So I don't mind the percentage, but I want to have some parameters
Yeah,
set.
I got one more question. Is there any way your services could be used to find personal property? People that, I mean, just find them for the LRA or real property? I mean, I don't mix that.
Well, if
Whatever.
if their information goes in to update our records on where people are, like if we can make sure the data goes to the assessor's office too, then probably. I mean,
That's a possibility.
And just because there's a lot of properties out there
Yeah,
that we cannot find heirs
Yeah.
or anything
that's a
else
possibility.
that,
Yeah,
and contacting them, just if we could contact them.
That's a-
They'll already
yeah, I think-
contact them to purchase the property or.
yeah. I don't hold me to nothing, but I think that's a possibility.
are you talking about, for my clarification, are you talking about using what they find out in personal property searches to update our records so the LRA can find real property owners? Or are you asking about a separate service to get?
They can do it in the same
Help.
service. In other words, just, yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to find out whether you can do it or not, and what it would cost to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about something different.
Yeah, for that, I mean, because there's a lot of properties out there that we cannot find the heirs or anything else. Can't find the property owners. That they're laying out there delinquent that we have bid on, and we have. But if we had the information to contact them, we can make it a lot quicker than 2 years of the process.
Well,
Because it takes it 2.5 years to process that piece of property once the county LRA buys it at a tax sale. To go through the steps in order to acquire a deed on that property.
And a lot of times at that point, your estates are closed if somebody's passed away. And
I mean, it's
no
so-
more money left.
So if we had the information, to be able to contact them with a phone call. And even give them X amount of dollars for it,
Yeah,
or then we could agree to sign it over if we pay the taxes and somehow a lawyer writes that up. The property will be automatically transferred to the LRA so it can be redeveloped. I mean, I know I'm speaking
no, it's a good,
tons,
yeah,
but
definitely. Watch that. And then also for that, I just wanted to mention, you wanted to talk about parameters next time, and then just a heads up on the back of the contract, the appendices have. For that reason, if there's any kind of parameters, dollar limits, you wanted to do like that, and that's what that's for too, so we can just point that out.
will you be here on the 14th also?
Yeah,
Could you try to find that information out?
for the LRA stuff,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll see what we've got.
Okay.
you understand what the LRA is?
I'm gonna do a lot of Googling and research when I leave here, but I understand it sounds like they find properties to buy up and develop for
Yeah.
your county.
Yes, basically, ones
Is it
that are
statewide
delinquent
or
in taxes.
county?
Well, this is the only one in the county. The
Okay.
county owned, this is the only one. There's
But
a
there are
couple
municipalities that have
municipalities
them.
have.
Gotcha. Okay,
That's Land Reuse Agency is what it stands for.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
I know I went way out there with that, but I think, but it's a big deal with. the
Well, I
property.
think it's great to have somebody who has the service, it's almost like hiring a detective.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
to
it's
track
what
it
it is,
down.
yeah.
If they have the skill set to do it, she's
Yeah.
going to take it on. But I think she needs to be careful running about, like, she's gonna be limited on, she's not gonna be able to call them and say, hey,
No,
you
but
guys would have to make this call.
the LRA would do it. See, that's, yeah, if we had the contact, we could do that. That's not an issue.
I just want to ask a question, just to make sure, did On that rail car reimbursement, was it noted that it was supposed, we was asking if it could come out of that special state fund, not the levy money? I just want to make sure.
Yes, and the legal advice we got this morning was no, or that I got on our behalf this morning was no, it had to be paid out of the general fund if paid at all. So, it would have had to come from our general fund. It doesn't qualify for that. And, we would also have to be willing to excuse the violation of our purchase policy, which was big purchases like that need to be approved in advance. So, even if we were willing to excuse that, it would have to come out of general fund, and it'd be more difficult to excuse it because the general fund is more limited.
I just want to make sure. I didn't know. It sounded like it was all going to come out of the levy when.
No, I mean, and I noted it, and actually they noted it that way on the agenda, and, you know, cause I know we had already said no when it came to the levy.
Right.
And so I recognize that, but my concern was, or it wasn't on the agenda, but it was on our, invoice sheet. It was, Gia put it in there for us, but, we were trying to figure out if we could do it, and I don't think we can do it.
Okay.
Or, well, I wouldn't be inclined to out of the general fund. Because it's, again, it's fire training center. The state fund is for fire departments. It's not for 501c3s. Same thing with the levy. So that's the rub for those funds. So that's what you need to keep in mind when you ask for
Okay.
reimbursements. But the general fund, you know, had we approved it in advance, it feel different. But it's competing with every other, you know,
Sure.
requirement on the general fund, not just other fire expenses
Right.
at that point.
I just want to make sure. That's all.
Okay, yeah, that's the reason though.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Should we adjourn this meeting and go to the?
Yeah, I'm gonna move to adjourn that meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, I guess, 9:45. We'll start the, October 30th, 2024 second meeting at 9:45.
Yeah, and I asked Ruth to notice this special meeting because she brought to my attention that, where our URA had voted to disband with the exception of signing some documents, and they had already voted to transfer the real property to the land reuse agency and the personal property of the county commission. It also hasn't been doing its fiscal filings. And one of them is with regard to the TIF that we want to keep intact. To ensure that, you know, then our GRDA isn't taxed while they market the property on our behalf.
On the real property, have they done a deed?
Well, that's the reason we don't have voting to disband the URA yet on our agenda. Because it did empower, Jenna Grayson to sign things on its behalf. And since we weren't sure that everything had been signed or closed or, you know, concluded properly, Michael had recommended that we forestall the complete termination of the URA pending confirmation. All of that has happened. So in the meantime, to address the expedient of accepting the non-real property assets, it transferred to the county. He recommended we go ahead and vote to do that. And then he recommended that we go ahead and vote to allow Ruth in her office to complete all of the fiscal filings. So we don't have any more auditor findings, because we did have one that did not meet the deadline because we hadn't done this or hadn't thought to do it. And we don't want the TIF to suffer as a result, in addition to the finding we're going to get. So say that right? Okay. Okay, so first, I'm gonna move that we accept the receipt of all the non-real property assets from the Fayette County URA that it voted to transfer to us at its June of 24 meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Secondly, I'm gonna move that we authorize the county administrator to supervise the completion of all of our fiscal filings with regard to the URA on behalf of the county.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Or